Om Swastiastu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semuanya. Sungguh hari yang sangat menyenangkan kita semua bisa berkumpul di sini. Bapak-bapak dan ibu sekalian, senang sekali bisa kita ngumpul lagi. Kadang-kadang topik kita berganti-ganti ya Pak ya. Ya. Saya kondenya yang berbeda-beda Pak. Oke, hari ini kita akan mengadakan press conference untuk WTN yaitu World Tourism Network. Di online kami sudah saling sapa sejak setengah jam yang lalu Bapak. Jadi kita akan mulai. Hello ladies and gentlemen, it is such a pleasure for me to welcome everyone for this WTN Summit 2023 press conference that will be held today at the Renaissance Uluwatu. But before we get started, let me introduce everyone that's sitting next to me and say hi to all our audience that is offline and online. Right now, next to me, a very handsome Mr. Ida Bagus Agung Parta Adiana. He is the head of Bali Tourism Board, Bali. Can you all see him there? Yes, you can see him?
Yes.
Yes, you can see him. The man next to me. Boleh dong dibilang handsome. Senyum dong. No, I'm always teasing. In tourism world, we are smiling. We are like a family all here. And next to Pak Gus Agung adalah Mr. Trisno Nugroho. As mentioned, we were gossiping about you before you come in here because you are the man, the smartest man here with data and statistic when we talk about opportunity of Indonesia. So Mr. Trisno is the head of Bank Indonesia, Indonesia Bank Denpasar, Bali, not Denpasar, Bali, Denpasar, Bali. Aduh, hampir salah. Lalu next to Bapak Trisno is Ibu Mudi Astuti. Mrs. Mudi Astuti is the chairwoman of WTN Indonesia. And then, of course, the host of this afternoon is Mr. Martin Elslers. Hello, Martin. You look great in Balinese outfit. All right, born with charm, are you? All right. Okay, and my name is Yoka Darmawan. I've been living in Bali for 30 years. I make myself Balinese and I am a Balinese in heart. Right? So Bapak Ibu sekalian, saya akan menyampaikan dalam dua bahasa karena tamu-tamu online kita ada di berbagai macam negara. Bapak-bapak, saya akan perkenalkan sedikit tamu yang sudah online dan berada di Zoom jaringan. Saya di sini ada Bapak Hon Allen Sins Ainge is the former Minister of Tourism from Celtics, and VP of World Tourism Network. Beliau ada di online, beliau akan turut bersama kita. Lalu Jürgen Steinmetz adalah WTN Global yang kita biasa panggil Thomas, nama sayangnya. Jadi Jürgen, beliau sudah online. Lalu kita berada di sini adalah Levi Lantu, of course, our dear one, CEO of Convention Exhibition Bureau dari Australia. Hello, Levi. And then, and then, of course, we have Snow White, Sneeza from Belgrade. On education, tourism, we have, I called first name to make it easy, from Newswire, India's from Bangkok saying hi, Benjamin Carey from London, Carey Tourism, and then Theo from Greece on food and gastronomy tourism. So we have a combination, not to mention everyone, because we have a group of interests from all over the world for this WTN press conference. And if I miss names, my apology, but what I know is everybody are enthusiastic on the next summit in February. Before I get started, sebelum saya mulai, saya akan mengucapkan terima kasih kepada Renaissance Bali Uluwatu Resort and Spa. Let's give a big hand for the team that has been fantastic to support us. And of course, Ibu silakan berdiri dong Ibu. Tuh. Ibu Tina adalah the lady who make this happen, and together with the NA team consulting, Dewi silakan berdiri. Dewi dengan teman-teman semua ada yang membantu untuk make this happen. And of course our big thank you for Bank Indonesia who always supporting tourism and make our decision based on the good thinking pattern, strategic thinking ya Bapak. Lalu WTN Global, WTN Indonesia, wonderful Bali Tourism Board, of course, and Basoma, Bali Convention Management, not to mention. And before we get started, let's give a congratulation for Pak Gus Agung Partaatmiana, who just being selected as the Gahar Wistri 2022-2020.
Indonesian Marine Federation.
Indonesian Marine Federation. So we can talk about Marine Federation and tourism potential as part of our big story of the potential from Indonesia. And let's give a big hand to open this press conference. The welcome speech from the General Manager of Renaissance, Mr. Martin. You can use my microphone. Oh, yes.
This one, yes. Wonderful good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome to Renaissance Bali Uluwatu. It's a big pleasure for us having you here today, and basically also on behalf of Marriott International. And we are honored to be chosen as the hotel for the upcoming World Tourism Network Global Networking Summit that will take place from 6 to 8 February 2023. For August this year, we received an award by the Ministry of Tourism to be chosen among the 5 best MICE hotels within Indonesia, which has been a great privilege and is a testament to the team. Therefore, we are even more looking forward to the great success of the upcoming conference. For overall, it's a privilege for us, and also greetings to our online viewers and to the entire committee. It's a pleasure and privilege. Terima kasih banyak semuanya, and success to the upcoming summit. Thank you very much on behalf of the entire team. Thank you.
Terima kasih Bapak, terima kasih. Bapak tadi bicara bahwa Renaissance nanti dipelajari lagi lebih lanjut lewat Ibu Tina jika para teman-teman tertarik mengenal dan mempromosikan Renaissance yang begitu besar dan begitu generous, bersedia menjadi host untuk acara press conference maupun nanti big eventnya di bulan Februari. Renaissance terpilih sebagai Indonesia the best award MICE hotel, begitu ya Ibu Tina? Nanti tinggal dilanjutkan dan diperdalam lagi. Terima kasih Pak Martin, terima kasih. Lalu sekarang saya akan membacakan agenda dari press conference ini. Press conference ini diadakan sehubungan dengan memperkenalkannya WTN Summit 2023 yang akan diadakan di bulan Februari 2023 di Renaissance Uluwatu, Bali. Setelah ini kami akan mengundang Mudi Astuti sebagai Chairwoman of WTN Indonesia, akan bicara mengenai pentingnya network across industry untuk meningkatkan kolaborasi secara global, termasuk jaringan yang akan mendukung pentingnya summit ini. Lalu yang kedua, kita meminta Bapak the Head of Bank Indonesia dan Pasar Bali, yaitu untuk bicara mengenai data statistik on opportunity for Bali ahead and the importance of SME in tourism. Karena kami seperti diketahui Bank Indonesia sudah mengelola atau memupuk small medium enterprises atau UMKM yang menjadi detak jantung Bali ekonomi. Selanjutnya kami minta Bali Tourism Board Chairman untuk membicarakan promoting Bali lewat WTN, promoting Bali through WTN and the participation of stakeholders. Tadi kita bicara berbagai macam tourism, ya, termasuk medical tourism yang baru, bahari tourism, dan masih banyak lagi yang bisa kita bahas. Lalu selanjutnya kita berikan pada Jürgen Steinmetz di WTN Global secara online about the mission and vision and why Bali, and the theme of the WTN Indonesia Summit 2023. The last but not least, honor to Mr. Alan Sin H, a former Minister of Tourism and VP of WTN Global. Panjang ya. Ayo kita mulai. Sebelumnya mari kita berdoa bersama, hanya sesuai dengan kepercayaan masing-masing untuk kita berterima kasih kepada Tuhan Yang Maha Esa. Waktu dipersilakan. Amin. Terima kasih. Kita mulai. Segala sesuatu yang baik harus dimulai dengan niat yang baik, dan doa adalah kunci untuk kita memulai sesuatu yang luar biasa. Kami persilakan Ibu Mudi untuk membukanya.
Terima kasih Ibu Yoke. Terima kasih kepada Pak Gus Agung, Chairman daripada Bali Tourism Board, dan Bapak Trisno, Chairman daripada Bali Bank Indonesia, Bali. Maaf. Thomas, thank you for everyone. Thank you for coming. Wishing God bless us all. Salam sejahtera, we call it. First of all, allow me to thank WTN Global to provide such unique platform that enable 128 countries connected among tourism practitioners, experts, and business owners worldwide. For this reason, Bali Indonesia have an opportunity to host WTN World Tourism Network to come to Bali Indonesia to conduct meeting and working on future business opportunity for both inbound and outbound. And I also would like to highlight my country, Indonesia, to applaud Bali to show the resilience and peace as a real demonstration to host such prestige global event G20. It shows that indeed Bali is an island of peace and resilience, and I hope the connection between Bali, Indonesia, and the 100 country members of WTN would strengthen their business relations, and this event will attract collaboration among country members even stronger. Next, I think we need to hear from WTN Global on how could we possibly be the best host for WTN Summit 2023, and how participants of the event would generate optimal benefit for their future business network and business engagement. We know from WTN Global that this organization highlight SMEs of tourism, which consists of 86 out of global tourism businesses worldwide. So Bali Indonesia are also the same with majority medium and small business scale. We do hope the events will enlighten and bring SMEs matter big globally, and we like this platform to be useful for SMEs to keep up better and stronger in their business. So once again, thank you to Bali Tourism Board, to Bank Indonesia of Bali, Ministry of Tourism Republic Indonesia, Ibu Yoke as Director Executive for WTN Summit, Pak Levi Lantu, the Chairman of Bali Convention Bureau, and of course, the beautiful Renaissance Hotel with fantastic hospitality and places. So with their support that make this event possible, we hope that with the help of everyone in Bali, Indonesia, and WTN Global, we can create this platform as a global market for SMEs of tourism worldwide here in Bali. So see you in Bali, Renaissance Hotel Uluwatu, 5th to 8th of February 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, Mudi. Bapak Ibu sekalian, rekan-rekan media yang tersayang, ada press release yang sudah kami berikan dengan beberapa informasi. Namun informasi yang disampaikan Ibu Mudi ada hal-hal yang menyangkut WTN Global dan misi mereka, di mana misi mereka lebih banyak ke SME juga, membangun SME sebagai detak jantung, dan saya rasa ini sangat inline dengan keinginan Bali Tourism Board yang tidak hanya bicara tourism sebagai big industry tetapi juga UMKM-nya yang akan didukung. Nanti mungkin Pak Gus Agung akan menceritakannya sedikit. Ya, jadi silakan nanti kita bisa perdalam untuk press release ini karena yang dalam bahasa Inggris rupanya ada beberapa yang note yang tidak terrangkum. Thank you so much. Nanti di sesi pertanyaan. Selanjutnya next, we are heading to the head of Bank Indonesia Bali. Bapak, kami persilakan Pak Trisno.
Terima kasih, thank you very much Ibu Yoke. Thanks Pak Martin. First time I come to Renaissance. Beautiful. I just know my friends come here and then he talked me about Renaissance view from here. Thank you very much, Mbak Ina also. Gus Agung as a Bali Tourism Board, Chairman Bali Tourism Board, Mbak Mudi, the Chairman of World Tourism Network Indonesia, Mr. Thomas Jurgen, the Global Chairman of World Tourism Network. Thank you very much. And then Pak Levi, the Chairman of Bali Convention Bureau. Om Swastiastu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Rahayu, rahayu. Mbak Yoke, probably we will speak in bahasa, then you can also translate in English because probably the data is need explained very detailed. As I said, Indonesia now is become one of the bright light in the world because the growth rate in Indonesia above 5%. Above 5%. There is no just only several countries have a growth rate above 5% in the world. So next year also, beside the environment in global economic slowing down, Indonesia still improve the PDB growth rate. The Bank Indonesia and also the Bank Indonesia and also Minister of Finance, they have a projection the next year to 2023, the growth rate of Indonesia above 5.2%. Even World Bank also said that Indonesia, different side of country like Europe, probably the slowdown economy, also US and other country. So don't worry, Indonesia still quite strong grow in next year. And then how about the Bali? Bali today until November 18, we preparing the highest meeting in the world, what we call KTT G20, which will run from November 15 until 16. 2 days in Bali, two weeks to go. Yeah, so we prepare quite tight with Pak Luhut Binsar Panjaitan and our governor Pak Koster and others minister also preparing. We hope everything will be going okay. 40, probably 20 of president member of G20 will come to Bali. Until now, they commit come to Bali, and then 21 the head of multinational institution like World Bank, IMF will come also to Bali. Probably around 10,000 people will come to Bali 2 weeks to go. Yeah. How about the Bali? The first quarter 2022 and then the second quarter 2022, the growth rate is still low, 1.37, and then in quarter 2 increase up to 3.04%. We hope in Q3 and Q4, Bali will grow around 4 until 5%. We will wait the data released by PPS next week. And then another issue next year, because next year World Tourism Network will have a meeting in Bali. Do you have another slide? We have data in 18. The next year event in Bali already list several meeting. We can count about probably already 15 event from January until December 2023. One of them World of Tourism Network, and then International Association of Medical Regulation Authorities in Bali also. And also Indonesia become the head of ASEAN meeting in also Indonesia. The KTT will held in Labuan Bajo, but the side event from March, I heard from March 2023 until October, there are a lot of probably 100 meeting across ASEAN, half of them in Indonesia. Probably Bali will have a half of meeting in Bali, because Bali, like Martin said, one of the best MICE destination in Indonesia, probably second in Jakarta and others in Singapore and Kuala Lumpur. I think next year Indonesia and including Bali will have a quite good shape in growth rate. Yeah, so we have together and synergize between stakeholder in tourism industry to support Indonesia and Bali, one of the biggest country. We heard Indonesia already in 6th rank among 20 members of G20. Yes, about the economic size is already number 7, number 6. Yeah, so Indonesia probably will show in this year about Bali is ready become all event KTT G20, and the next year KTT ASEAN. I think that's all. If there is a question, we can answer after that. Thank you, Mbak Yoga.
Wonderful, Pak Trisno. Thank you so much. Teman-teman semuanya, saya akan menerjemahkan dengan secara singkat bahwa ini sangat luar biasa. Indonesia di posisi yang sangat bersinar, growing atau perkembangan ekonomi bisa di atas 5% Indonesia ya. Tahun depan diprediksi kita akan meningkat sampai 5,2, begitu ya Pak ya. Nah, bagaimana dengan Bali? Di Bali memang Bali growth saat ini masih di 1,37 karena kita adalah provinsi yang sangat besar terdampak karena turisme. Namun dengan lonjakan yang luar biasa bisa diprediksi meningkat menjadi 3,4 atau ditutup di kuartal 4 bisa mencapai sampai 4 atau 5%. Sungguh pencapaian yang luar biasa karena seperti the comeback-nya udah seperti kayak the big megalon ya Pak. Lalu Bapak mencatat bahwa kita sebagai host dari G20 ini merupakan kepercayaan yang luar biasa, di mana state, kepala negara dan kepala korporasi giant industri semuanya berada di sini. Diprediksi hampir 10.000 orang ada di Bali di tanggal November 15 sampai 17 atau perpanjangannya. Ini adalah tanggung jawab kita semua begitu ya Pak, untuk menjaga Bali aman dan mengambil kesempatan ini untuk perkembangan ekonomi. Dicatat juga oleh Pak Trisno bahwa tahun depan sudah tercatat 15 event dunia yang akan diadakan di Bali atau diartikan sebagai dari Maret 2023 sampai Oktober ada 100 meeting di sekitar ASEAN, yang artinya pasti setengahnya bakalan ke Bali karena Bali dikenal sebagai the best MICE destination. Semoga kesini ya Mbak Tina. Ditepuk tangan, diaminin aja ya. Terus Indonesia Asian Meeting KTT akan dilakukan di Labuan Bajo, berarti connectionnya pasti lagi kembali ke Bali. Jadi dengan ini semua mari kita semua beroptimis, menyampaikan optimisme sebesarnya bahwa growing sinergi dari tourism Indonesia merupakan aset dan the biggest opportunity untuk kita tampil kuat. Sekarang ini kita berada di angka ke-6, tingkat ke-6 di economy size di G20. Ini diperdalam karena ini benar-benar promising ya Pak, optimal promising ya Pak ya. Jadi Bali siap, kita menjadi tuan rumah dari berbagai macam event, termasuk nantinya pasti WTN Summit yang akan dilakukan di bulan Februari. Begitu ya Pak? Ada yang tertinggal Pak? Oke, jika ada yang perlu data lebih lanjut silakan menghubungi. Yang jangan minta semuanya nanti, iya Pak ya. Data sudah disiapkan. Baik, terima kasih Pak Trisno. Kami lanjutkan dengan Pak Gus Agung sebagai Bali Tourism Board Chairman yang akan membicarakan mengenai partisipasi dan stakeholders. Silakan Bapak.
Terima kasih. Thank you. Good evening, Excellency Pak Trisno, Central Bank, Indonesian Central Bank in Bali. First of all, thanks to Ibu Mudi, Chair of WTN Indonesian, and Pak Thomas, who is in London now, and also with Dr. Peter Paulo in Texas, who both believe and still have faith for Bali. I'm so thankful for the Global Committee also agreed to choose Bali to host the World Tourism Network 2023 and bring global SME tourism network from 128 countries members to meet and collaborate in Bali. I really touched and humbly appreciate it about this. So Bali Tourism Board in progress of recovery Bali, BTB, Indonesian Central Bank, Bali Chap, Koma will collaborate and make sure that WTN Global Event 2023 will be a great time for global tourism friend mix and engage with all of our stakeholders in both leisure and MICE. Let us stand and growing stronger together by implementing Bali Declaration as the peacemaker in global tourism. Let us meet and create a platform to world-class SME tourism network. As I would love to share with all of our global SME network from 128 countries of what Balinese is going to do. Are you ready? We Balinese, are you ready, right? We Balinese is going back to our initial.
I'm sorry, I unmuted you, gentlemen. Would you please unmute you again? This was my mistake. Sorry about that. Whoever is talking there, would you please mute yourself? Okay, I think we got the person who was talking. But I'm sorry, I muted the panel. Would you please unmute yourself? It was a mistake. I cannot undo it. You have to undo it, please.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you
There we
very
go.
much.
Okay.
And then I will continue for the head of Bali Tourism Board to continue his note. Thank you so much.
Yep, continue. I'm very happy to share with you more on why we must go back to our heritage Balinese identity, peace with Sangyang Widiwayasa, then to the people and nature. I will tell you more secret, of course, when you are here next year. Basically, we are looking at what is our strong foundation that has been built up and make us still resilient in any challenge until today. I am very excited and happy to look forward to talk with you more and show the real strategy of our Balinese hospitality. Stay well, my friends, and have a great blessing of coming up Christmas, New Year, and Chinese New Year holiday too. And please stay happy, stay healthy, so we can catch up in our Tourism Network 2023. Thank you.
Wow, very nice speech. Thank you, Pak Gus Agung. Gentlemen, you got that? Okay, give me 2 minutes to translate that to our friends here. Ini sangat menarik bagaimana Bali Tourism Board mengajak stakeholders dan semua pimpinan dari asosiasi untuk bersatu, melihat bahwa hubungan pertemanan dan persahabatan baik bisnis maupun persaudaraan harus terus dibangun karena kita dalam proses recovery. Meskipun secara formal Bank Indonesia dan teman-teman semuanya telah melakukan banyak pertemuan begitu ya untuk recovery Bali, tetapi kerjasama termasuk dengan media adalah kunci yang sangat penting, itu satu. Yang kedua, adanya Bali deklarasi G20 begitu untuk menyatakan bahwa Bali yang telah dipilih sebagai destinasi G20 sudah mampu, sudah meyakinkan dunia bahwa MICE memilih meeting insentif dan convention exhibition sebagai destinasi, dan kami siap dan kerjasama dari teman-temannya ditunggu. Kunci yang akan disodorkan atau disuguhkan ketika bicara MICE dan destinasi, maka kita menggarisbawahi heritage atau nilai luhur, identitas manusianya maupun nature yang menjadi kunci fondasi kekuatan. Selain itu, orang Bali adalah orang-orang yang dikenal sebagai resilience-nya, dan kita pertahankan untuk terus bertahan dan tahan banting gitu ya, judulnya resilience itu kan tahan banting. Jangan dibanting terus tapi dielus-elus gitu loh, masa dibanting. Okay, now next I'm gonna give this back online to Jürgen Stedmetz, the WTN Global. Jürgen, Thomas, you have your floor. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for everyone for being here, and specifically to Mr. Trisnu Nugroho, the Director of Bank of Indonesia, to Ida Bagus Agung Parta Adnanyana, I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, the Chairman of the Bali Tourism Board, and of course Levi, who've been working closely with the CEO of CEB. And without Moody Astudi, I don't think we'd be sitting here today. I'm quite humbled, and I'm very happy that Bali is stepping up to the plate and is holding our first global summit. The World Tourism Network is a very young organization. We only started because of the COVID crisis on the sideline of the canceled ITB trade show back in 2020. But our history, and my history with Indonesia specifically, goes way back. Everyone knows I'm involved in eTurbo News, and eTurbo News started in Indonesia with the goal to help Indonesia and to clarify situations in Indonesia back in 1999, 2000, 2001, when the country also went through some challenges. And over the years, I think the most resilient tourism country I know in the world is Indonesia. Indonesia is also home of a lot of small and medium-sized businesses. And this is really what our goal is, to help SMEs out around the world to compete with the big guys and work with the big companies and within the framework, within the public sector, and be successful. 85% of world's businesses are considered small and medium-sized businesses under 100 or 200 people working, and they really are the backbone of the industry. And specifically, I wanted to say organizations that know the support, like the Marriott International Group, and with this our host Renaissance Hotel in Bali, to understand this and reaching out hands to businesses of all sizes. So I'm very excited that we can get this conference to Bali. It's really meant to be a global event. Obviously, we're hoping to make a difference for Indonesian tourism, but we really want to bring the world to Indonesia. And that includes our also our sister organization, the African Tourism Board, and many others that are involved, hopefully involved in making this a real success. What we want to do a little bit different than most conferences and summits, we don't really want to have a lot of speakers that are speaking and others are listening and then they go home. We want everyone to take something home and to take business home. And this is really why this conference will be based on roundtable discussions where all the participants can be part of it. Specifically, if we're asking individual travel agents and tour operators to travel to a destination like Bali, that is for many countries in the world, not for many businesses, especially small businesses, not a cheap thing to do. So we want to make it worthwhile. They're coming, not only combine it with a wonderful vacation and holiday in Bali or in Indonesia, but also to come to Indonesia to generate business for themselves and understand the business. So it's heavily based on, our conference will be heavily based on roundtable discussions with other side events that touching the safety, security field, for example, the medical tourism field, and many others. I wanted to give the floor, if this is okay, to our partner, our VP, Elaine St. Ange, who's joining us from the Seychelles. And if anyone has experience in global tourism and how to build a tourism industry, it's Elaine, because he served as the Minister of Tourism in the Seychelles for many years. He's been intimately involved in tourism all around the world. We called him the Global Minister of Tourism at the time. And we're very happy to have Elaine on board in our organization. And thank you so much for joining us from the beautiful Indian Ocean region, what is part of Indonesia. So we're coming together here. And the floor is yours, Elaine. You need to unmute yourself, otherwise we never know what you're saying. And that's kind of dangerous with a politician.
Thank you very much, Jorgen. Much appreciated. But Excellencies on the head table, the Director of the Bank of Indonesia, Chair of Bali Tourism, Moody, our Head of WTM in Indonesia, Excellencies, everyone present. Well, still good morning for us. It is good afternoon in Indonesia. Why Bali in February next year? I think that's the question when Jorgen raised this idea that the conference was going to be staged in Bali. And the first question I asked myself, which I asked you today, why Bali for February next year? I think the answer is fairly straightforward. Bali, I visited it a year and a half ago when I was doing some attachment work in Indonesia. I realized the peaceful nature of the Bali inhabitants, everybody that calls themselves a Balian. I think this is the first thing. You are a peaceful people, an attractive island, and an island that wants to see the main essence behind the word tourism, which is connectivity, travel. And this is why if Bali, February 2023, that conference that is being staged, and as Jorgen rightly said, not just to come and talk, but to come to make connections and live with something. I think if we can succeed this, Bali will establish itself as a key player in the future of tourism. Today, when we look at tourism and we look at this post-COVID tourism, it is very essential as a means of moving forward for everybody to find themselves and for destinations that are looking beyond their normal traditional markets to be innovative. And Bali today, when I see the head table and the two addresses delivered, it is very clear that you are looking beyond your own borders, beyond what traditionally was the Bali attraction for visitors. You are looking at that niche market of creativity. And I think we need to compliment you. And in my role as the Vice President for International Relations for the World Tourism Network, I think I want to say we have to continue that visibility of rallying people to be in Bali in February next year. If we all do that, if around our networks, we all keep pushing this wheelbarrow to say Bali is a must for February next year, we would have succeeded in creating something different. And I think when Jorgen spoke just now, he looked at the sister organizations of WTN from Africa, but also the rest of Asia through ASEAN. We need to bring everybody together. We need to bring these SMEs so that they can find connectivity with other partners so that everybody sees a win-win scenario in traveling to Bali. I have every faith and I have conviction that it will be a success. And it will be a success because we all come with the idea of making this event the event to launch 2023. Excellencies, you have my full commitment as the Vice President of WTM for International Relations. And I assure Jorgen, the President of the organization, that together we will work hard to ensure that the efforts put by Moody in Indonesia shows the dynamism that stands behind your office, Moody, and that we will deliver for Bali in February 2023. Thank you and have a good conference.
And thank you, Alain, so much.
Fantastic. Let's give a big hand. Kita beri tepuk tangan. Thank you, Thomas, Jorgen, and then Alain. Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to translate it in a very short sentences. Bahwa yang menarik yang disampaikan Thomas adalah apa sih perbedaan antara WTN Indonesia yang summit yang akan diadakan di bulan Februari dengan event-event sebelumnya. Karena di Bali ini akan diadakan untuk pertama kalinya. Jadi WTN Bali Indonesia itu pertama kali akan mengadakan summit ini yang sebenarnya mengangkat kemampuan industri untuk bersaing dengan nilai tambah sehingga kita bisa mencapai posisi yang diinginkan baik secara nasional maupun global. Yang satu yang akan disampaikan bahwa di acara Summit 2023 akan diadakan banyak sekali roundtable discussion. Jadi bukan satu speaker dan yang lain mendengarkan, tapi exchange knowledge and information. Akan banyak sekali learning exercise atau praktek-praktek saling pembelajaran. Lalu di mana para buyers akan bertemu dengan para business players. Nanti jika bertanya mengenai buyers dan sellers, kita akan mengundang Levi untuk menyampaikan beberapa hal. Untuk Mas Levi yang ada di Australia itu yang Masnya tuh senyumnya tuh Levilan tuh yang akan berbicara. Lalu Bapak Alain ini karena beliau adalah former minister dari tourism, aku susah sekali ngomongnya, Seychelles. Oke. Seychelles itu adalah salah satu destinasi nomor 1. Oh, enak ya dengarnya profitable island. Enak ya kedengarannya ya. Jadi contohnya bagus karena ini the most profitable island. Nah, ini siapa tahu direction kita ke sana ya. Beliau mengatakan kenapa Bali? Bali kuncinya adalah connectivity, yaitu nyambung, network. Itu harus kita lakukan. Artinya akan banyak pembelajaran setelah post pandemi ini, karena kita seperti mulai dari kertas putih lagi, di mana kunci-kunci yang disampaikan Pak Gus Agung tadi kita udah punya asetnya, yaitu value dari masyarakat maupun orangnya maupun nature, yang itu yang diangkat di luar dari traditional budaya. Apa yang bisa kita suguhkan, termasuk mengajak Afrika dan ASEAN untuk turut saling kolaborasi dan mengangkat UMKM. Istilah SMI itu UMKM ya, jadi industri untuk bisa saling berkolaborasi. Begitu kira-kira ya. Beliau juga memberi selamat pada Mbak Moody, karena Mbak Moody membuka sekretariat di Park 23. Creative Hub, yaitu di Jalan Kediri. Nanti kalau teman-teman ingin tahu lebih banyak apa progres maupun apa yang bisa disampaikan, sekretariat office-nya ada di Park 23. Dan juga pastinya sehubungan dengan Bali Tourism Board, pasti teman-teman udah tahu ada kantor baru yang keren banget, itu ada di Jalan Muhammad Yamin. Begitu ya. Oke.
Yoke boleh
Yes,
revisi sedikit
silakan
ya?
Ibu Mudi.
Ini revisi sedikit tadi saya bicara size nomor 1 ya. Sebetulnya yang nomor 1 economically number 1 itu Maldives ya. Maldives, nomor 2 Aruba. Nomor 3 Seychelles. Nah ini.
Oh, Maldives, Aruba,
Seychelles.
Seychelles.
Ya. Jadi mudah-mudahan Mr. Alan San Angie bisa share knowledge-nya how he become very successful tourism minister for Seychelles. Thank you.
Ini menarik ya, nanti jauh ini bisa hadir, exchange knowledge-nya kan asik banget. Karena kita biasa menjual apa yang kita miliki, tetapi gimana dengan belajar. Oleh sebab itu WTN akan menarik karena banyaknya round table discussion. Berarti banyak FGD istilahnya gitu ya. FGD untuk bisa exchange dan mendapatkan keilmuan baru. Strategi-strategi baru. Okay, Levi, would you like to say a bit about the preparation of WTN Indonesia for February, please?
Okay, thank you, Yoke. Thank you, Mr. Alan Sanage, Thomas, and Pak Trisno, Mbak Mudi, Bagus Agung, and everybody's here on the Zoom and also physically there in Bali in Renaissance. I'm just going to give a quick update that, as Thomas mentioned earlier, that this WTN, we're going to focus more on small to medium enterprise. Yeah, so we're going to be touched down the basic that what we have to do, especially after the pandemic and the whole situation is like everybody like go back to zero again, start all over again, which is a good time. Sometimes we need to do that. But for this event, we have 3 main focus for the group, which is as has been mentioned earlier, Ibu Modi, that the WTN with international network of 128 countries, I think we were looking for a seller and buyer. We're going to looking at you know, a more practical industry that they can come, learn, and also taking out business from each other. Of course, for the seller, it's going to be inbound, and but it is going to be mice. Pretty much, we're looking at the boutique mice size company, and also for the buyer, it's going to be outbound agent. And number 2 is a B2B community. I just want to help Pak Gus Agung here. The Bali Tourism Board is the whole community of tourism in Bali. Have 9 associations, from tour guide, from bus, from all of the interest place, and then also MICE, player, the supplier, everything in there. They all, the number is still growing, but we've been exercised a lot of challenge and opportunity to work together as a community and strengthen each other. And this is very beautiful that we need to bring a new strategy in that. And we're looking at 50% of buyer, and pretty much we're going to collaborate with the Indonesian National Tourism Association, is called GIPI community. And also we're looking at 50% seller for the outbound. And this is going to be pretty much a lot of OTA Indonesia and also outbound Indonesia. Especially don't forget that Indonesian market is also become a big target for big tourism board, because like, I mean, a lot of incentive, a lot of a group, and even the beauty group medium between 15 up to 50 people, they're also looking for something experience overseas. So we're gonna target both sides as well, 50% buyer, 50% seller. And then don't forget, Indonesia is having 34 provinces. So we have another 33 provinces. So we're gonna collaborate with Indonesian Tourism Ministerial and Indonesian Internal Affairs. So 33 provinces, it is like they have their own territory. They have their own, we call BPPD, is like the On Tourism Board. So they have their provincial tourism board. There are 33 of them. And underneath them, they have city tourism board, which is approximately about 98 cities. And then the regions, it's about like 416 regions. So it's like a similar with city, but a bit smaller. So bringing total is about 500 something. So this is a good opportunity, and I think it's a good time to sharing, learning from each other. As the chairman of Bali Tourism Board, Pak Gus Agung, already mentioned, that you're gonna share with the whole world how Bali can still sustain and what we can learn from each other. Thank you very much. Back to you,
Thank
Yoka.
you, Levi. Thank you, Levi. So tadi Mas Levi bilang bahwa ada 50% inbound, ada 50% outbound. Bicara juga mengenai buyers nasional. Mas Levi juga bicara mengenai besarnya Indonesia dan potensialnya. Sekaligus juga bicara di bawah Bali Tourism Board sebagai komunitas di mana ada 10 asosiasi di bawahnya. Ini pun sudah menjadi engine yang cukup kuat untuk bisa mengangkat dan menjaga Bali menjadi destinasi. Sekaligus bicara mengenai buyers itu dari industri kecil dan menengah juga yang bergerak untuk langsung ke market atau langsung ke target seperti desa wisata sepertinya juga ya. Seperti desa wisata juga, jadi practical industry di mana saling belajar itu akan terjadi di sana. Terima kasih Mas Levi, thank you so much. So I think this is that's it. We have all our speakers to join. Now is question and answer. Anyone would like to ask question? Yes.
Before we go to question answer, I wanted to mention something else. What is kind of a second step? That's why I didn't put this in my first words, but we're also just signed a declaration, what is probably the opening door to our overall theme. We call it the Bali Declaration. Call to the heads of state and participants at the G20 conference upcoming in just a couple of weeks. And the 3 points, you can actually read this declaration on our website if you go to wtn.travel and click on and go to /Bali Declaration, or click on the prominent link for Bali Declaration, and what our call is. And also in opening the theme for our conference and work tours is World Tourism Network calls on all G20 participants to be ambassadors of world peace. And remember that tourism cannot function without peace. The World Tourism Network calls up the G20 leaders to recognize the important role of tourism, specifically in creating peace through understanding and empathy. And the WTN also calls on the G20 leaders to recognize the Bali tourism industry's important role in ensuring this summit is a logistical success. So this is our wishes for the G20, and it's important, I think, that the tourism industry speaks out and speaks up. There's an opportunity that doesn't come up very often. And now times are very critical in the world, specifically when it comes to peace. And I can tell you, this was also endorsed by many of you and also by the International Institute for Peace Through Tourism. And Louis D'Amour personally reminded everyone that tourism is a custodian of peace. So I wanted to just add this to what I had to say. Thank you very much.
Terima kasih Thomas. Ini cukup menarik teman-teman media untuk membuka WTN /Bali deklarasi di Bali, karena di sini ada undangan atau mengajak membuat deklarasi untuk para pemimpin dunia yang akan datang di Bali di saat G20 untuk mengenal dan menjadi ambasador damai, perdamaian, menjadi duta perdamaian dan juga kesejahteraan. Jadi menyatukan pariwisata global untuk perdamaian dan kesejahteraan. Yang kedua adalah untuk untuk mengenal bahwa Bali tourism industry adalah detak jantung yang sangat penting yang menjadi salah satu kunci untuk peningkatan ekonomi bagi orang banyak. Saya rasa deklarasi itu cukup menjadi kunci yang kuat untuk kita menuju Februari 2023 sekaligus mengajak semua orang berpartisipasi dan mengambil peran di dalam industri pariwisata. Terima kasih. Okay, thank you so much. And I have translated very well, I think. If you understand, you not. Okay. Oke, terima kasih semuanya. Kita question and answer. Kita minta 2 pertanyaan dulu, lalu kita coba menjawab dan langsung sampaikan kepada siapa pertanyaannya dan siapa yang bertanya. Terima kasih. Yes.
Thank you, Ibu Yuke. Terima kasih, saya Nila dari indobalinews.com. I'm from indobalinews.com. Good afternoon, everybody. My first question is maybe for Mr. Jurgen. It's about the it's about the vision and mission. It's WTN for the SMEs. What do you think is the most important thing for Indonesia to prepare to promote tourism and SMEs in tourism matter big? And maybe it's a question for the Lions States too. And pertanyaan kedua mungkin untuk Bu Mudi tentang travel mart. Nanti kan ada travel mart ya Bu ya, mungkin hybrid atau dilaksanakan B2B atau B2C yang cocoknya after pandemic ini. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think the SMEs are most successful in the world when they deal with niche products and niche markets. And Bali, for many in the world, not only as a destination, but as specialty products when it comes to so many different factors in Bali have this niche, whether it's culinary, whether it's culture, whether it's weddings, many opportunities. I think for Bali to prepare to cater to our audience we're trying to bring to Bali is to show that with this investment of a visit to Bali to attend our conference February 6th, this is an investment, what is a profitable and a life-changing investment also in the form of a vacation. Many of the smaller business, and I'm talking about really micro businesses, if I look at here in the United States, are quite important in the travel industry and often overlook. So people probably not going to invest $3,000 like a Marriott company to come to Bali to this event and listen to presentations. So someone investing this type of money, they have to find there is a return. In order to get this return, they have to be convinced there is something I will learn during this visit. I will be introduced to new opportunities and niche markets that exist. And I'm hosted in a way, and I don't mean hosted with free hosting, but it should be that everyone hopefully in Bali gets together, every hotel, every bed and breakfast, every boarding pass, maybe to make a delegate, a friend and an ambassador, invite them to their place, not only to attend the conference, but to have a wonderful holiday. They can bring their husband or maybe even their children. Then this becomes an investment people wanted to participate in. It is different from a conference where you invite CEOs of large companies where it becomes a company expense to travel and they really don't care about the cost. So we're dealing with a different audience and it's a huge business opportunity, I think, for Bali and for every destination that is participating in this exercise. Did I get this right, Elaine? You need to unmute yourself. You're still muted.
Ellen still mute. Thomas, Maybe
Okay.
also to add, sorry, Alan, just to add on, the question from Nila, it's also about vision and mission of SME. And then what do we need to perform basically, need to prepare and perform during the event?
Well, pretty much, I think what my recommendation is, Bali will be an excellent host. And Bali has such, not only Bali, I'm talking about all of Indonesia, also had such a diversified program. And their business opportunities like no other destinations. And these are for markets I understand very well, for instance, for the North American market. Niche products like weddings in Bali, for example, cultural exploration trips. I mean, I don't know, the surfing, you name it. These are all products, what is usually sold best by smaller companies. And if Bali can manage to attract these type of additional products to an additional audience of sellers and additional audience of buyers, I mean, I think this would be a win-win situation. And the preparation is really to find a system to make it worthwhile, that these buyers are okay to spend the money and the investment to come to Bali. And that could be probably best done with a feeling of this is a business trip, but this is also a personal trip and a holiday, and I'm going to get new business out of it because I'm learning. That's kind of really the very, in simple terms, the idea. But Alain, maybe you want to add something to it.
Yes, but I believe, members of the head table, that we can, and having listened to Jorgen, it's something we didn't discuss. I think there's another opportunity to bring the people of Bali into this conference, and so that they watch the conference. Today, when you think of Bali, you often think of the creation of wellness and spa. You think of that, and you always realize it had originated through Bali. You were creative, and you disseminated it to the world. I think an area that we can probably look at it for February is to get some hotel schools to participate in the conference by finding lecturers out of Bali who would be attached to hotel schools in different parts of the world to train people in the world of wellness and spa. And I think this itself will open the door for Bali people to get out, to find new creative way of working, and to bring the money back to Bali. I think if we opened our heads a bit, look further along the horizon to say, how do we make this conference the success it deserves to be? We have to go beyond just the aspects of small SMEs getting together, and find also the world of employment. People need to find jobs. So let us create areas that can bring Bali's experience to the world. The same is for furniture making in Bali. The same is for the clothing industry that you have. I think there's a lot more that we can create if we maneuver well into this February meeting.
All right. Thank you, Alan. Thank you so much. Thank you, Thomas. I hope that replied your questions. Thank you, Ibu Nila. Okay, Moody, just a few sharp reply. Thank you.
Tadi disampaikan mengenai travel mart. So jadi memang yang disampaikan oleh Pak Thomas and Sir Alan tadi betul bahwa we are looking into different kind of audience. Then we are going to be translating this event globally karena after COVID, the way we do business is going to be different. So it's more kind of engagement one to another. It's more educating one to another, and it has to be more productive meeting and more efficient and effective in terms of events. So for example, like before we are sort of like having big expos with big pictures, backdrop segalanya itu, mungkin sekarang lebih LED, lebih digitalized, and lebih comprise, lebih efektif.
Oke,
Terima
kalau
kasih.
mungkin dengan kata lain mungkin saat ini akan, kalau biasanya kalau trade show kita bicara wholesalers ya kan, bicara players besar ya. Kalau ini justru the doers-nya yang dinamakan SME, yaitu industri yang pelakunya langsung. Jadi secara offline, mereka temu muka, mereka belajar, mereka bawa pulang experience, dan itu rupanya jauh lebih impactful. Ketika bicara niche, istilah niche market itu adalah market yang punya ketertarikan tertentu. Jadi very specific, ada yang ketertarikan ke food, ada ketertarikan ke wedding, surfing, wellness of course. Jadi medical. Nah itu banyak banget. Medical bukan hanya high end, tetapi herbal, jamu, dan lain-lainnya. Jadi roundtable discussion yang akan diadakan di summit ini menjadi sangat unik dan menjadi satu forum di mana orang bisa networking. That's why it's called World Tourism Network. Gitu. Mungkin ya merangkum juga sedikit apa yang disampaikan Thomas. Ada juga dia bicara bahwa partisipannya akan berbeda, di mana memang itu menjadi bagian dari visi dan misinya WTN untuk menampilkan mengajak bukan hanya mereka untuk berbisnis tetapi untuk learning dan learning experience gitu ya, dan sharing of course, dan benar-benar saling mengisi gitu. Ya, terima kasih Mbak Nila. Satu pertanyaan lagi. Yes, silakan Bapak.
Selamat sore, nama saya Hidayat dari Metro Bali. Izinkan saya bertanya bahasa Indonesia apa?
Boleh dong.
Oke. Mungkin ditujukan kepada ketiganya, Pak Tristo, Gus Agung atau Bu Mundi bisa jawabnya nanti. Saya mendengar tadi ada predikat profitable island ya. Itu ada Maldives, Aruba, Seychelles. Kalau boleh tahu Indonesia di urutan apakah ada rankingnya untuk hal itu? Profitable island itu. Terus apakah WTN Summit Februari mendatang itu menjadi suatu rangkaian starting point-nya untuk mencapai predikat hal itu, Pak? Mungkin demikian pertanyaan. Terima kasih.
Silakan Pak Trisno dulu, Pak Trisno.
Iya, terima kasih dari Metro Bali, Pak Hidayat. Yang pertama saya nambahin dulu yang SMI, ini kan juga bagian Bali. Can I speak Indonesia ya? Oke ya. Bali sebenarnya one of the best adalah small medium enterprise ya. Jadi tepat di Bali itu menjadi handicraft, ada culinary, ada fashion, tempat para seniman yang berkumpul di Bali itu juga menjadi penting, dan WTN saya kira tepat membawa SMI salah satu topik di sini ya, menjadi belajar di Bali dan juga membawa yang luar ke Bali. Yang kedua mengenai di mana Indonesia tadi dari Aruba, dari Maldives gitu ya. Indonesia ada 17.000 pulau ya. Mungkin kita bilang Bali agak lebih mudah dibandingkan dengan pulau-pulau lain. Bali kalau dalam ukuran Indonesia sih kita menyumbang hampir 52% devisa Indonesia ke negara ya, yang sudah disupport oleh Bali. Per hari ini jumlah wisatawan asing yang ke Indonesia itu hampir 52% berasal dari Bali. Jadi Bali masih menjadi salah satu ikon Indonesia. Bayangin 33 provinsi belum bisa menandingi Bali yang wismanya sudah 52% lebih gitu ya. Dan tahun sebelum COVID ada 6,4 juta ya. Cuma Bali kan tidak mencari jumlah banyaknya, tapi quality sustainable tourism ya. Kita menjaga Bali dengan tidak banyak, dari MICE salah satunya merupakan event yang berkualitas sehingga yang ke sini juga bisa menjadi memelihara Bali agar tetap sustainable tourism ya. Jadi kalau nomor berapanya kami belum bisa lihat ya. Nanti coba saya cek ukuran jumlah wismanya ya. Indonesia di antara ASEAN memang Thailand sekitar 35, kemudian Singapura 25 juta, Indonesia 16,5 juta ya, Wisman di tahun 2019 ya. Before COVID ya. Jadi kita masih dorong terus, kan Indonesia luas, ada 5 DPSP, yang lainnya moga-moga bisa membuat Indonesia bisa naik ke 20 atau 25 wisatawan asing di kedepannya. WTN ini sangat penting. Tadi ada beberapa negara yang datang ke sini. 120 negara akan melihat the beautiful of Bali ya. Saya kira dengan berbagai macam keunikan dari Bali ya. Berharap bisa ada KTT G20, ada sekitar 20 kepala negara, 41 menjadi ambasador besok nih 2 minggu, bahwa Bali yang indah dan peace bisa menjadi salah satu ikonnya dunia. Kemudian tahun depan WTN juga akan bawa dari berbagai macam 120 negara. Jadi akan memperkuat brand of Bali-nya. Saya kira itu Mbak Yoga.
Jawaban yang luar biasa ya, bahwa Indonesia, I'm going to translate it in English and then I'll come back to you, yeah. Indonesia positioning, the question is, if there is an award of a profitable island, like Maldives as being number 1, and then what is the second one? Aruba, and then the third one is Seychelles. All right. Where is Bali? So that was the question. And then the reply from Mr. Trisno, very interesting, as Indonesia is always highlighting small, medium SME industry, from fashion, art, craft to gastronomy and all that, and being Indonesia positioning in the world with 17,000 islands, 33 provinces. Indonesia is a huge, big engine to move. So Bali has contributed 52% of foreign contribution, suddenly gone from my head. And then that means that Bali is still leading. Before the COVID, 6.4 million guests coming, and now with the MICE as being part of the big event in Bali, I think the positioning next year will be very much promising, especially now we are heading to WTN Tourism Summit in February. 128 countries will be the partner, friends, and the support of tourism as the whole. I think that is the reply of Pak Trisno. If I have missed anything, I think I cover all. And if you comment from Pak Gus Agung, please, from Bali Tourism Board.
Thank you Mbak Yoga. Jadi tadi sudah disampaikan Pak Trisno mengenai update tourism kita. Kalau dari saya, kita Bali sudah terkenal dengan budayanya, pemandangannya, dan manusianya. Sekali lagi kita fokus sama orangnya. Saya lihat Bali kemarin itu waktu pandemi, kita sangat tergantung pada pariwisata ya. Banyak pekerja yang laid off lah, diberhentikan sementara dan sebagainya. Dan masyarakat Bali itu sangat tenang saya lihat. Tidak ada gejolak dan sebagainya. Bukan mereka itu protes dan lain sebagainya. Jadi memang hening. Jadi itu membuktikan masyarakat Bali itu sangat resilience tadi. Ketahanan mereka itu 2 tahun ya, mereka menghadapi ekonomi yang sangat berat seperti ini. Itu yang juga menarik buat dunia ya. Mengapa Bali yang sangat tergantung pariwisatanya dan pekerjanya juga berwisata, saat mereka mengalami goncangan seperti ini, tetap melakukan ritual upacaranya, dan itu tetap berjalan tanpa berhenti. Mungkin skalanya lebih kecil ya, tapi itu tetap berjalan gitu, baik dari rumah sampai tingkat yang pemerintah itu tetap berjalan tanpa mengurangi. Nah itu juga menarik buat sebagian orang bahwa ini juga bisa kita sharing nanti pada waktu acara WTN nanti gitu. Terima kasih.
Very nice comment from Gus Agung from Bali Tourism Board. We are still have to focus on the people, and this is what make it interesting because Bali so much depending on the tourism, and the shocking pandemic has made majority suffer from that impact. But Bali is still calm, showing their resilience. 2 years, the ceremony, tradition, rituals, and being grateful as being projected in everything that they do as a lifestyle. So Bali is still attractive, still, regardless whatever happened. It's just we need to grow and get more people to trust for the growing in the future. Thank you. Menjawab, oh Mudi, silakan. Enggak, pertanyaannya profitable island di mana Bali? Apa yang bisa kita lakukan? Oh sudah ditutup. Sudah dijawab. Karena nggak bisa di-compare Bali is part of the island. Kalau tadi kan dia country ya, gitu. Tapi intinya adalah Bali menyumbang 52% travelers of Indonesia. Jadi belum ada yang number one in Indonesia. Kita semua berupaya terbaik untuk kita bisa jumpa dan melakukan best effort untuk bisa ke WTN Summit program tanggal 9 Februari sampai tanggal 2023. Terima kasih. Thank you so much. Terima kasih, semoga menjawab ya Bapak Hidayat. Bapak Ibu sekalian, dengan demikian kita akhiri press conference ini. Ladies and gentlemen, with this closing remark, and we would like to thank you everyone to make this happening. This press conference is a start point, but it's also mean a commitment that we're gonna go ahead with the summit in February 2023 with everything that happening, but we try our best to be, I like that words, profitable island. Let's together we get closer and learning, and together we get stronger, together recover. Thank you so much. With the spirit of G20, let's get everyone to be committed for the best and stay healthy. Thank you so much. My name is Yoka Darmawan, and I would like to say thank you again and big hug from Bali. Sampai jumpa lagi, terima kasih. Sampai jumpa lagi. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Alan. Thank you,
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone there. Thank you so much.
So I'll see you all in Bali soon.
Yes, see you in Bali, February 2023.
See you in Bali all.
All right.